I think we do have some unfinished business in Mario World. I just going to start the game up now, and I genuinely incredibly excited for this one because I like Mario World. Mario World is cool. Turn this one off, turn this off. Bam! We have a game now. Okay. We are going to start off, we're just going to start where we left off last time, which means we are 64 out of 96 exits in, so about 2/3 of the way in. Although it should be noted that the second half of the game is obviously also much harder than the first half, as you might expect, honestly. So, let's get started with the first level, Chocolate Island. I like chocolate. Do you like chocolate? This dino thing doesn't seem to like chocolate, or it doesn't seem to like me. That is also very possible. Either way, it just killed me, which is very rude. Like, come on. Can't just start this off with an immediate failure at the hands of a... Honestly, actually these things are kind of interesting. Like, they work somewhat similar to the Rexes, but the fact they can spit fire is honestly kind of cool. Like, honestly, I would not mind if they brought these back for, like, I don't know, Mario Maker or something, or like a new 2D Mario game, whenever that next one comes out. I mean, okay, I say that, but like, Mario Wonder isn't that long ago at this point. And honestly, I'd be fine if it took them a while to make a new 2D Mario game. Mostly because I think Mario Wonder showed us that, if they take their time, these games can be pretty cool. And I say that even as like a fan of the new Super Mario Bros. Games, those games did get somewhat repetitive very quickly. I love this level ending. Just getting shot into the exit is so cool. Anyway, and we're already done with our first level. And we are immediately faced with the Choco-Ghost House. So spooky. What is spooky about this ghost house is the fact that it doesn't have a secret exit. Jenny, what the hell? How can you make a ghost house and have it not have a secret exit? That is very weird, like genuinely. These days, every ghost house has a secret exit, so the fact that in this game it's kind of random if they do or don't. Okay, I say random, but it's like 2 ghost houses that don't. This one and the Vanilla Dome one. I think. Like, I might be missing one. Anyway, that ghost lucky to do it there. Isn't this their only appearance other than Mario Run of all games? Like, imagine if your only appearances are like a game from the 90s and then Mario Run. Like, talk about being irrelevant. I'm pretty sure what I'm supposed to do here is lure this boo over here. Okay, and then when I look at it, it turns into a stone, which I can then use as a platform. And that in turn means I can do this. So I just realized I forgot to turn the game volume down. So this should be better now. Bum, ba-dum bum bam, ba-dum bum bam, bam 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 bam, dum dum dum, ba-dum bum bam, da-dum bum bam, bam 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 bam. Okay, Chocolate Island 2. Okay, oh right, it's this level. It's this really bizarre and honestly really cool level. The way this one works is that essentially based on like a number of kind of random factors, the remainder of the level is changes. Like these different rooms here, there's like a lot of different ones, and which one I go to is determined by, I think it's like how many coins I collect in the I was hoping that maybe the box there would explain something to me. Here, the coins you collect or the time remaining can change your progress. Can you find the special goal? Yeah, thank you. That is exactly what I was getting at. Essentially, how many coins I collect or how many how much time is remaining determines where I go. I think in this room, in this specific one, it's coins. But the thing I'm the most scared about is obviously getting the secret exit, because as you might be able to deduce from the fact that this is essentially a maze level, getting that might not be the easiest task in the world. That said, hi Rex. Damn, the game slowed down there. Okay, I mean that's the normal exit, out of the way at least. So hey, half of the goals in this level are already done. Too bad the one that remains is the difficult one. I mean, this is a multi-coin block, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, okay. 14, because I also got the one from the invisible coin block. 15, 16, 17. That should be enough. Yeah, see, this is an entirely different section from what we played earlier. Oh god. Oh god. I think I'm not getting to the secret exit here, because I do not remember all the different combinations that are available here. But I am absolutely realizing the fact that we've been here before, and therefore we are probably also... No? No? Wait, what? Okay, I mean, this is a different exit, technically, but I'm pretty sure this one doesn't actually do anything, because, like, yes, it is theoretically a different exit, but in practice, it just counts as the goal tape. I am, however, fairly certain that, I think I'm already... Yeah. Good thing is that start plus select can let you exit any level at your will, which is good in this case because I am fairly certain that I actually do need to get the coin exit here. And then after that it's probably just time and being fast. So let's just try to do that. See, oh, another new path. Okay. Okay, and I get to fly. Nice. Yeah, I actually really like the feather. It's incredibly overpowered. It's ridiculously overpowered even, but like, it is so cool. What do you mean I just get to fly over the entire level? Okay, I've been here before. Yeah, yep. This is this exit. Okay, this is going to take a while. Um, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wait. How many coins can I get from that thing? Maybe I should just leave the Yoshi behind, honestly. In the interest of time. Yeah, I've been here before too. Okay. I've been there before too. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, let's just ignore the Yoshi for now. Then I'm going to try and get through this section here as quick as I can. Without dying this time. Wait, is this the same Yeah. Wait, is it? Because I'm fairly certain there was a dragon coin there originally. Wait, is it the other way around and I have to, wait here? Nope. Same exit as before. Okay, where could it be then? Okay, let's just brainstorm this before we get started. I am fairly certain that I need to, get the coin thing in the first area. And then, in the second area, I suspect it's about time. Okay. Okay, let's just try this. Maybe it's the other way around, actually, and I need to not collect coins here, because I've been doing exactly that for, like, I've been collecting coins here every single time I've went through this level, and, clearly it has not been working, so maybe doing the exact opposite is going to work. I'm not sure. Have I been here before? I've not been here before. That's for certain. Well, now I have to try and get back there because That was embarrassing. Okay. Jump, 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 jump. Hop, 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 hop. I mean, I could probably also use the Koopas as platforms like that. But that would have been kind of scary. Okay, this time I know there's a truck coming. And I just jump into the ball. Why? That was not a very smart idea. Okay, but I'm fairly certain that it's not collecting coins here and then being quick in this section. That would make a lot of sense in my book. Dum, dum, dum. Okay, and now I just have to try and not die here, because I'm fairly certain this is, yeah, this is the secret exit area. Nice! That level was kind of complicated, but also really cool. I love this. I love the Valley of Bowser music. This is so cool. This is such a cool track. Okay, chocolate secret. The secret of the chocolate, so to say. And it immediately starts with another jump onto a one-block trampoline. Terrifying. Damn. We have a lot of chucks here. Cool, honestly. They're like one of the more I mean, they were for a while one of the cool exclusive enemies for this game. They're not really anymore, just because 3D World brought them back, and then I think they were also in Odyssey, and like they're just kind of back with a vengeance now. It's kind of weird, honestly, to think about how many elements that you consider to be staples of modern Mario are just were just absent for such a long time. Also, this section here is kind of weird, honestly. Because you would think that when there's such a long slide, there's like the enemy combo thing that modern Mario games do, but like that's just not. I think the Game Boy Advance port actually has that. So this section makes a little more sense there, but in this one, meh. But the Game Boy Advance port also has slight screen crunch issues, so I would still rather play this version. Also, I kind of just don't like how most Game Boy Advance games look outside of their native hardware, because of like how especially early Game Boy Advance games have like very, very, very bright color palettes to make up for the lack of a backlight on the original system. And so they look kind of off when played on pretty much any screen that features a backlight. Okay, and this is a shortcut to, I think, the sixth castle. Okay, cool. Okay, Chocolate Island 3, the third one, so to say. Okay. Alright, this is the... This is this level. Cool. The swimming platform one. I like this level. I do genuinely like this one. It's just like one of these kind of fun athletic theme level. It's like pure platforming, and I genuinely really appreciate that. So is this the level with the sub area I was thinking about? Like, yeah, yeah, this is the sub area I was thinking about. Bum 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 bum. Okay, give me the dragon coin and then I'm out of here. Also, there's obviously also this is a level with a red dot, so there's also going to be a secret exit in this one. And the secret exit in this level is kind of, I mean, it's not the most bizarre one in the game. That title very obviously belongs to the bridge level where you have to jump off of Yoshi to get to the to get behind the goal, actually. That one feels like something a Kaizo ROM hack would do, not an official Nintendo level. Also, I'm just going to skip to the part where I have been. I mean, you can't just skip the entire level because this pipe here is in the way, but like, yeah, obviously the feather still makes this a lot easier. Even if we ignore the fact that you can just fly over everything, just the fact that you can glide is such a useful thing. Like, even just gliding is an incredibly powerful thing to have in a platformer. And then it also gives us a form of attack. Sure, in that regard, it's not quite as powerful as the Fire Flower, but like, come on. Do you expect this thing to also make you, like, your meals? Like, how much else does this thing need? It's already way too strong, honestly. Level complete. Get ready for the most important path in the entire game. You will have your mind blown. I mean, hey, two 1-ups, not the worst. I mean, I've been at 99 last time, but again, lives don't save. Lives don't carry over between play sessions, which is unfortunate. But yeah, what an incredible path! Just you literally just run in circles. A clever reference to the previous level, by the way. You could theoretically also fly below that pipe and just continue flying, but also, come on, that is really boring already. Like, I guess we are just literally replaying the entire level because, yeah, the secret exit is at the tail end of this level, which I absolutely despise. I think secret exit should never be at the end of a level unless there's some way to just restart at a checkpoint. But that's genuine one of my few real complaints with like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Game's really good, but like so many of its secret exits are just right at the end of a relatively long stage, because Tropical Freeze stages are really, really long. And so many, I think actually every secret exit is just right at the end of the level. It's so annoying. Okay, Chocolate Fortress. Is this a fortress built of chocolate? I mean, does this color palette suggest that this is built of chocolate? It looks more rusty to me, but like, meh. Whoops. I've really not handled the incoming flames well. Dum bum 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 bum. I love this track. This is genuinely one of my favorite Mario Castle tracks. It's so good. Also, shoutouts to the Red Switch Palace for saving me from this one enemy here. Really appreciate it. Yeah, just let the front come down and then spin jump on it. That's probably the safest way to approach these. And actually, I'm fairly certain this is the only mandatory. I mean, I guess you could just skip the entire game through the Star World, so not really mandatory, but like, this is the closest the game comes to like a mandatory fight against the Resonors, because this is like kind of just on the main path, while most of these are out of the way. Like, you have to find the secret exit in the cave to get to the fortress there. You have to find the secret exit to get to the fortress in Bowser's Valley. You have to find the secret exit to get to the fortress in the forest. Yeah, that is probably the closest this game has. This game comes to like a mandatory fortress level. Also, shoutouts to the Switch Palaces for these 3 extra lives here, I guess. It's also so jarring, honestly, still, that the red switch just doesn't do anything. But then the yellow switch, which is like literally obtained by just beating the first level, something pretty much everyone is very likely to do. Like, and then the red switch, you have to actually find a relatively elaborate secret for that. And it just doesn't give you anything. I would argue that even the blocks it places are often not quite as impactful as the ones the yellow switch places. Although, I guess that the red switch is also somewhat it's at least the intended solution for the secret exit in that one cave level. So I guess there's that. Anyway, we have another level without a secret exit, and this one is kind of built around P-switches, and it's kind of boring, honestly. Like, this is one of the weakest levels in the game, honestly. And I think that is mostly because this level feels incredibly random. Like, this level just kind of feels like developers threw a bunch of ideas at the wall and hope that it would work out, and it doesn't really, at least in my opinion. Like, we had the weird P-switch section earlier, now we have this moving pipe section, and now we just jump a bit on charging tracks, and the level's over. There's really not much substance to it, but at the same time it just feels like they just slapped a bunch of elements together without thinking much about it. Let's just hope that Wendy's castle is not like that. Oh wait, is this the skewer castle? Oh yeah, it is. Damn. Yeah, okay, this is going to be somewhat difficult. Especially if I keep playing like that. But yeah, this... Okay, this level is kind of built around the idea of skewers and these saw things, which I think are called grinders. And like that is a kind of interesting combination just by default. Unfortunately, if I remember correctly, this is also another level where the switch palaces just kind of take away from the difficulty. Actually, that one seems... Why is there... Wait, why is that block even there? Like, what does it do? Does that block even do anything? I guess they just felt that the blue switcher palace wasn't doing enough, and then they just slapped that block there. Also, yeah, right, the skewers are instant kill in this game. I believe it's because the game treats them as crushing you, rather than you getting hit. Still, it's kind of bizarre given how, in the modern Mario games, these just hurt you. Even though, actually, are they? I'm thinking, are the, new Super Mario Bros. Skewers, designed, like, in terms of visuals, do they look more or less intimidating than this version? Because they rotate, which is kind of cool, but like at the same time, there's a lot, there's a lot more anticipation there, which you might say kind of ruins the surprise factor. Like there's the sound and there's and like they move out, and in this game they are like often somewhat hidden behind regular platforms, which New Super Mario Bros. Doesn't really do anymore. Which, hey, I get why. But it kind of works for this game specifically, in my opinion at least. Okay, that said, I do wish to complete this level today, so... Mario, what the hell did you do? Like, that was genuinely not what I intended there. Okay, we made it to the checkpoint, and I think we made it past the entire skewer section, because this is one of those Mario World levels. A lot of Mario World levels kind of do that, where they have, one element in the first half, and then build a bit of an obstacle course around that, and then the second half does something completely different. Which, I guess the 4-step level design people are going to be like, oh, that's such a bad design. No, I think this works. Mario World is cool. And I think it's in part because the levels are not quite as predictable as many, many games that, like, rely way too much on 4-step level design. Oh god. Actually, I would argue that this is a much easier boss fight than Lemmy. Like, sure, there's two of these flying lava thingies now, rather than one, but like, the ground is also flat now. Drinking ASMR again. And yeah, as that said, before we get to the proper final world, which we've seen before in like both the secret in the Donut Plains and in the Chocolate Island, but before we get there properly, we have to make it to the Sunken Ghost Ship. This is such a cool level. I think ghost ships are something that 2D Mario does way too little with, like with the concept. There's like the one in New Super Mario Bros. U, and therefore by extension the one in New Super Luigi U, and then there's this one, and that's it. Which, hey, given how New Super Mario Bros. Works, you might say that's a good thing. I mean, first of all, hi, and second, there's no issue with like having bad English grammar. Like, as long as people, maybe it's weird coming from me because I do like to like, I do find grammar quite interesting and stuff. But I also believe that as long as you can like understand what somebody is trying to communicate, it's not actually that much of a deal. Contrary to how I might act when somebody like does a minor grammar mistake in German. I think that's mostly just for fun. Can I have that mushroom, please? Because I have no idea what's coming, and I am somewhat terrified of just jumping into one of those spike balls. Yeah, these ones. And we're done. I mean, believe it or not, English is not my native language either. My first language is actually German. It just that I've like, yeah, used the language a lot, and like when you hang out with like when you hang out with like a lot of the Mario fan game community, it's like often just very easy to it's just hard to find a lot of other German speakers or like really any language speakers unless you're in like a specific community. And so because most people in the world will understand at least some level of English, people tend to gravitate toward that. Just naturally. I would honestly argue that that is how I learned English more than school ever did for me. Like, I've said this before and I will say it again. I don't think English classes in school were very helpful for me. Which is in part a motivation thing. I think that a lot of what they consider to be what they use as materials is very outdated at best and somewhat unfitting at worst, but that is also an entire debate that I'm not willing to go into right now. Although why am I starting here? Like, didn't I get the checkpoint all the way up there? Why am I... What am I doing here? Like... Okay, die. Okay, this level is just a gigantic tunnel. Yeah, I think that is just kind of a thing that happens naturally these days, just because a lot of us, like, I think we're like one of the first generations that just sort of grew up with like a lot of online media and stuff, and therefore it just sort of happened. Especially when you're like when you're interested in like more niche things that aren't necessarily going to be covered very well in your native language. Yeah, it absolutely feels like a glitch. Okay, Valley of Bowser 2, the second one, actually. Oh god, please, no, this is... accurate I mean, Mario's reaction there is an accurate representation to how I feel about this level, because I do not like this level. This level is focused around these moving yellow platforms, and the first half is pretty fine, like, nothing outstanding, but like, the first half is absolutely fine. Like, if this was the entire level, I would not be complaining right now. However, get ready. Get ready. Yeah, this happens. This is just a waiting game. This level is literally just a waiting game. No, the secret exit in this level is not evil. It's just straight up tedium. Like, why? Why do I have to get through the worst section of the level twice? And it's not even like the secret exit is particularly well hidden. It's just literally just right there. You literally... like, they essentially present you with both the secret exit and the normal exit on a silver platter. They literally just tell you, play the level twice. Why? Why is that a thing? Who thought that was a good idea? Yeah, this is one of the worst levels in the game. I feel like I've said that before about another level. Oh right, the weird chocolate island one that felt like a complete... that just felt like a mess. Fun fact though, this level does have 2 of these 1-ups here. Like, the ones you have to... where you have to run through 5 specific points to get them. But due to, I don't know, is it a glitch or is it like an intended feature? You can only ever get 1 of them in any given play session, because, essentially the way these work is that, when you collect them, the game saves that, and so they don't respawn. And that also blocks the second one in this level from spawning. Which is annoying, honestly. I'm not sure if that was like a developer oversight or if they just wanted to give you 2 chances, but yeah. Yeah, but it's because this game has a bunch of 1-ups that just sort of appear when you run through some very specific places. You have to touch some very specific places in order, and it's kind of weird. Actually, wait, there is a way for me to skip the tedium here. What level does have an accessible Yoshi, so I can just quit out, immediately? Annoyingly enough, I don't have access to the Star Road yet in Valley of Bowser. If I had that, this would be so much easier. If it's like this, I feel like I could have also just played through the level normally in this time, but also I don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm going to show off something cool instead. Also, since we're here, can we just talk about a random island up there? Like, that feels like it's just genuinely just bait for weird fan theories. I'm pretty sure I've already seen a trillion different fan videos of people showing off supposed secrets hiding on that island, and I'm like, okay. Like, why is that there? I think it's the only island in this entire game that is not used for anything and is not, like, tiny like the ones over there. Like, obviously there's nothing on those, but, like, the giant island next to the area, literally called Top Secret Area, feels like a very, feels like a very natural place to be, like, another secret. Because, like, you are already telling me that there's a top secret area. What's telling me there's not a more secret area, you know? Or like, I don't know. I just wonder why it's there. Which is weird because like when giving advice for world map design, I often say that like putting down a couple of islands that are beyond the regular path is a very good way to make your world map stand out, but like in this case it's just the fact that it's like the only one in the game, but it's very bizarre. Anyway, if you bring a Yoshi here, you get both a blue Yoshi and you get to skip the worst part of the level, so hey. At least there's a way to skip it. I wonder if the developers knew that nobody was really willing to play that. Yeah, same! I fell for that. Like, I genuinely just searched the entire area because I was convinced there had to be something there. Because, like, it just feels sort of natural, you know? Like, there's this random island somewhere. Of course it's going to hold a secret. Also, wasn't this the evil one where it's actually the second to last door that leads to the exit? Yeah. Yeah, this is real. If I remember correctly, yeah, I remember like struggling with this level just because that is so evil. Like, you tell me that the second to last door is the one holding the secret rather than the last one. That feels very unintuitive and it feels very intentional. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, they could have literally just put the top secret area itself on that island, and that would have made so much more sense, but I guess not. Like, they could have literally just used it for anything. Or, you know, just put a couple more islands around. That would have also fixed the issue and... yeah. What's in here? Oh, right, yeah, this is the path to the like, the secret exit, I think. Oh god, right, you have to build a staircase with these blocks, because, the way these coin snake thingies here work is, they, just follow whatever direction you give on the D-pad, and I had a feeling this was going to happen. I had a feeling I would just hit the exact block I was trying to avoid. But fortunately you can sort of cheese this with the Cape Feather if you just get high enough, so yeah, it's fine. Valley of Bowser 3, the third one, so to say, this level feels weirdly out of place in the final world. Although, to be fair, this is a relatively untypical final world anyway, just because there's like basically no lava or anything. It's just sort of a cave. Actually, is the only non-castle level in the valley of in the so-called Valley of Bowser the secret level in that you access from like the Choco Island thingy? Oh yeah, this level is really cool. I adore these countdown platforms here. These are such a cool idea, and I wish Nintendo themselves did more with them, or at least added them to Mario Maker. I feel like so many cool levels could be done with these kinds of things. I guess there's also already tracks in that game, but like, I don't know, these things are cool. I wish they brought these back. Okay, I think this is the final level in the... No, actually, because there's one Star Wars level left. But in the main game, this is the final level with a secret exit. And it's kind of a bizarre one. Because if I remember correctly, you have to bring a Yoshi all the way to the end of the level. Unfortunately, the level is at least kind enough to provide a lesson that I wish the new Super Mario Bros. Games had taken, because like the new Super Mario Bros. Games did have a really annoying habit of requiring you to bring specific power-ups, particularly the mini mushroom, from other levels into a specific level for star coins or a secret exit. One that comes to my mind immediately is that one secret exit in the tower of the mountain world in New Super Mario Bros. U. Yeah, this is such a... Yeah, it's a cool secret exit. I'm going to give it that. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. At least the level provides us with one. So, hey. Annoyingly, the only Yoshi in the level, to my knowledge, is before the checkpoint. So if you collect the checkpoint and then lose your Yoshi, you are still sort of out of luck, but yeah. Because like there's no easy way to restart this when you get like the checkpoint. Because obviously the checkpoint is sort of permanent. Or at least it sticks around until after you complete the entire level. So that means you have to essentially complete the entire rest of the level normally before you get another shot at this. Or you bring a Yoshi from a different level, I guess. Although I believe that also resets the checkpoints in this game. I don't know, sometimes the checkpoint logic in this game is weird. Like, I'm fairly certain I've seen I've seen at least one checkpoint in this game not reset after getting an exit, so yeah. By the way, something that I just remembered that I don't think I've mentioned at any point before. For some reason, the shoulder buttons in this game let you control the camera. It's cool. I'm just like, why? Oh yeah, I've mentioned it before, but I hate it when secret exits are placed at the end of a level. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, I think I've also brought up that example earlier, but like, that game, as great as it is, the secret exits in that game absolutely suck. Like, they are terrible. Why are they like this? All of them are just placed at the end of a level, and several of them also require you to bring like Kongs, which are essentially power-ups, with you throughout the entire level. And remember, checkpoints in Tropical Freeze activate automatically when you walk past them. There's no way of skipping them, and therefore it is very possible for you to just screw yourself out of the secret exit. It's really annoying because a couple of mechanics in that game just work together to make that as miserable as possible. And the worst part is that most of the mechanics that work together to make it as miserable as possible are usually mechanics that make that game really fun. Like, most of them are really pro player usually. Also, can we just talk about the fact that I'm pretty sure this level locks you out of the checkpoint unless you know of the secret area here? That is kind of cool, honestly. I'm not sure if I would do that, but like, it is kind of cool. Also, okay, no, the comic does respawn. Or Magic Koopa? I think it's Magic Koopa. Anyway, he does respawn, okay. I thought for a second that I was like, done. Oh my god, yeah, secret exits and auto-scrollers are honestly just... Why? Most people don't like auto-scrollers in the first place. Why make them play them twice? Like, do you just hate players? It's so based, but also, why? Also, speaking of things I hate this level. I don't know, I just think the way that squeezing through tight gaps in Mario World works is kind of weird and it feels inconsistent. I mean, there's probably logic to it. I just don't know that logic and that annoys me. And it's kind of a waiting game, which I also find annoying. Also kind of just a boring way to end the final castle before the final castle, you know? But hey, at least the green switch does something for me again. And it's my nemesis, but now he's even more difficult. Okay, I did get hit, but like, that was a relatively smooth Larry fight for my, that was a relatively smooth Larry fight for how I usually do against Larry and Iggy. Like, I'm pretty sure I did way worse with Iggy. So, yeah. Also, I'm fairly certain that Mario World 100% speedrunners have some way of doing that consistently, because I don't know, speedrunners at this point, there's no way to surprise me. Like, isn't Mario Bros. 1 like a fraction of a second away from being literally perfected? Like, from being literally impossible to beat faster than that? And like, through the use of tools that were once considered to be humanly impossible, no less. Oh god. Like, speedrunners these days genuinely terrify me. Just like this level does. But that's mostly down to that area back there. Wait, what? Why can I not spin jump on that? Oh god, this section. Yeah, this is the evil one. Yeah, this section here is just absolutely evil. Wham. La 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 la. Like, what do you mean these things just move that fast? I think my best shot at that is trying to keep the feather until then, because I'm pretty sure that is going to make that significantly easier. Alright, yeah, you can just use the cape to bypass that entire section. True! How could I forget about the cape being completely overpowered once again? Genuinely, sometimes it terrifies me just how much of this game the cape can just trivialize by itself. Like, you can just fly over so many levels. The gliding ability makes so many other levels so much easier. It gives you an offensive tool. What is there that thing can't do? I honestly struggle to think of many Mario power-ups. Or genuinely, I struggle to think of any Mario power-up that is more overpowered than the cape, and that is not specifically designed to be an easy mode like the invincibility leaf in Mario Bros. 2 or something. People say that, like, the Hammer Brother suit is overpowered, or like the Tanuki suit, and then Mario World just throws the feather at you. What the hell? Like, there's a reason it never really came back outside of Mario Maker. And I guess the DLC levels, quote-unquote DLC levels for Mario Advance 4, if you want to count those. Da, 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 da. Unfortunate. I had a really good run until then. Actually, can't you just fly over most levels in the game, period? I'm fairly certain I've seen people fly over goddamn Tubular before. And Tubular is, I'm pretty sure, the hardest level in the entire game, so... Which reminds me, I'm going to have to play that one soon. Tubular is incoming. Yeah, this camera setting is kind of awkward, but it's probably the best, my best shot at this level, because like seeing what's ahead faster is really useful here. How did I survive that one? I was hoping I could like maybe squeeze by just barely, but nope. Nope. Unfortunate. That said, I'm pretty sure that is the final obstacle before like the exit door. So this is not even like a particularly long level. And surprisingly enough, the cape is relatively is like not too overpowered here. From what I can tell. Because like you can definitely not glide long enough to where you can like get past this section here easier. Can you? I'm pretty sure you can't spin jump on the powder boats on this game, right? Actually, are they even called powder boats still? Because they've went through like 50 name changes, right? And yeah, that's the goal. Nice. If I die to Resno, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm just saying it because I have a feeling that it is going to happen. This is the most intense Resno fight I've ever participated in, and it's mostly because I don't want to replay that level. Fortunately, it's done. So, before we get started with the special world, we do still have one star world level ahead of ourselves. Yeah, castles don't have secret exits, which is, I'm pretty sure, mostly because of the fact that, like, you can't replay them without the use of, what is essentially a secret code. Because surprisingly, a lot of players don't even know this, but if you press L and R on a castle tile when it's destroyed, you can replay a castle. Which is cool. But it's also kind of weird that there's like this entire set of levels which are all really major locations, and yet none of them can be replayed without the use of a... I don't know, I'm not sure if I want to call it a cheat code per se, but like... Actually, it is kind of a cheat code, right? Okay, And now I'm just going to have to hope that that was sufficient. Camera, would you please... Nope! The camera is absolutely not willing to scroll up there. That makes this level really annoying. Oh my god. I am fairly certain that there's there's like green blocks over me, so I can use those. Yep, to get a feather here, which I hope I can then use to fly up there, because that's where the secret exit is. Yeah, this might just work, especially with the help of the Yoshi. Meh. Yep. This works. Unfortunately, it means we don't get to keep the Yoshi, but also it's a yellow Yoshi. It's not that much of a loss. Like, the yellow Yoshi is not that good. Gnarly. Yeah, welcome to the special zone. The final world in the game. Containing levels that are... that all have really bizarre titles. Let's just call it that. I believe these were like popular youth words and like popular slang words among the youth in like the 90s. But also, I am terrified to think what a modern day rendition of this concept would look like. Like, oh my god, imagine what such a level would be called. Tubular, here we go. The so-called hardest level in the game. I am genuinely terrified of this level. But I've also done pretty well in it in the past, so... I was about to say I'm trying to channel that sort of energy. It appears that did not work out so well. Probably not the worst idea to not spawn in that chuck before I... Yep, second try, I'll take it. I'll absolutely take that one. Okay. 2 special world levels down. Next up, way cool. I don't like this level. This is another waiting game. Also kind of a weird level name, given what comes right after this level. I will not elaborate on that yet, but oh god, no, right. Right, this is also the level that just kills you if you don't get the if you don't press the right buttons, which I'm pretty sure it never tells you which ones are the real ones, so that is also really annoying. I'm noticing that I'm a good deal more negative on the levels in the second half than I am on the ones in the first half, honestly. Like, but at the same time, what is this? Why? Like, why? Like, essentially, this is an auto-scroller pick-a-path. Neither of these concepts are fun. Why are you mixing them together? I'm just going to try what happens when I just don't press that button now. I die all the same. Okay. Okay, this might just be the right path. I believe. I know, I'm mostly just doing this based on vibes, so there is a non-zero chance that I'm just going to die. You know? Oh, come on! Can we talk about how I beat Tubular in the second try and then this way easier level here is giving me so much trouble? Because this stuff is awful. Like, I genuinely do not like this level. I genuinely do not know why it is like this. Also, can we just talk about the fact that these Yoshi wings just don't give you anything unless you already unless you already have a Yoshi? At least give me like a mushroom. Like, come on, if I brought a Yoshi, you are literally letting me skip the entire level and also giving me like several extra lives in the process. And yet you're too greedy to give me as much as a mushroom when I'm not bringing a dinosaur. Why? In general, I would do so much for a mushroom right now. Maybe this path here leads me to one. Even better, it leads to a Yoshi, which I can then use to not play this level. Okay, cool. I'm pretty sure they implemented these wings mainly so you could like, so you would have like a way out when you when they throw a section at you that wouldn't really work with a Yoshi. Like that section, since Yoshi can't climb, you would have been stuck unless you like left your Yoshi behind there. Anyway, remember how this level here is titled Way Cool and this one is titled Awesome? This is an ice level. You can't tell me Way Cool would not have been a much more fitting level title for this one. I know that it's that it refers to a different kind of cool, but like cool as in cold, but like, come on. No, cool specifically, not as in cold, but like as in awesome. But come on, it would have been such a cool level title regardless. Also, oh my god, we're back here. Welcome back, Mario Bros. 1 Cheap Bridges. But this time with, I'm pretty sure this level does have actual ice physics. So I am terrified because I don't like ice levels. No, 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 no. Please don't. Don't. Yeah, this level is really hard, at least for me. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Unfortunate. If I manage to keep my mushroom over there, that would be such a great start here. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just not happening. At least not in this run. And like, hey, maybe this one is going to be the one. Like, I was about to say stay positive, and then I immediately get hit in the cheapest way possible. I feel betrayed. Okay. Okay. Wait, doesn't this... Oh, it absolutely does contain a star. Okay, good to know though. Like, if I can get that star again, that means I have a pretty good chance of beating the level. See, I found something out there, and that is going to very likely be the key to success in this level. And also, like, come on, this is the special world. These are supposed to be the hardest levels in the game. Okay. Just give me the P-switch. Yep. Thank God for this P-switch here. I'm not sure what it is supposed to do, because I'm fairly certain that activating that question mark block is not its intended use case, but it is a very useful one nonetheless. Four more levels. Alright, and this is the title screen one. I wonder which one came first, honestly. Like, did they design this level first and then decided to randomly make this, like, relatively mundane special world level into the title screen one, or was it the other way around and they decided to just make a level out of the title sequence? Like, I genuinely wonder. I have a feeling that it's like the I have a feeling that they made the title sequence first, just because it's kind of a random level to pick. If not, but I also don't know, so, you know, they may have very well just picked a very random level there. Maybe because the level was particularly well suited in their opinions. I don't know. I didn't make the game. Oh my god, this is mean. Yeah, I feel like I was just kind of already dead there. Wait, isn't there... Why did that block not activate? Anyway, didn't the title sequence literally tell us that there's... that there's a Yoshi in here? See, and now we're in a really good spot because Yoshi plus... Oh, why did I get stuck there? Anyway, because Yoshi plus Cape Feather equals broken. Okay, I say that, but arguably the Cape Feather is more broken without Yoshi. Just because you can't do the infinite flight thing with Yoshi. But then also Yoshi gets his own infinite flight thingy with like the blue Yoshi. Okay, it's not technically infinite, but it's still really broken. Okay, I was hoping I could just damage boost there. Give me the Yoshi, please. Thank you. I did not know Yoshi could like eat multiple of these at once. Kinda cool though. Oh, this is the only level in the game where Pokies appear. Aren't they kind of a weird enemy to bring over from Mario 2 anyway? I think it's one of only 2 enemies from Mario 2 to appear in this game. Actually no, 3 technically, because Bob-ombs were also in Mario 2. But I'm also not sure if the idea of a Bob-omb in the modern sense is really the same thing as the one in Mario 2, because they work somewhat differently. Okay, we've made it from kind of weird 90s terms to just straight up words I have never heard of. What the hell is a Mondo? A water level, evidently. By the way, cool thing about this level, you can absolutely, this is one of the cool things you can see with dithering in effect. For those unaware, in pixel art, dithering means the idea of like using different colors in a specific pattern to create the illusion of a third color existing. It's very useful when you have like only access to a relatively limited color palette. Because you can just combine 2 colors in such a way to create the illusion of a third one. And in this case, it sort of creates the illusion of this water being transparent, even though it's really just completely transparent pixels. And it's really just a pattern of completely transparent pixels and blue pixels. Kind of an interesting technique, honestly. Fascinating. I don't trust these cheap. I don't trust these guys. And I especially do not trust Hammer Bros. Yeah, can the water please go back down? Is there a mushroom? There's a mushroom. This is so peak. We are so back. And the level's done. Okay, at this point the question arises. Are we going to see the bonus game again? Because there's only 2 chances for it left. I'm honestly not sure. Okay, if Tubular is not the hardest level in the game, by the way, this is the one. Outrageous is actually kind of outrageously difficult, and unlike Tubular, it's not because it has like a vastly different kind of gameplay to it. This is just a very difficult obstacle course, really. Honestly, kind of feels like a Lost Levels course with how it's designed. Wait. I think I'm just supposed to bring this trampoline here. And I've been making this way harder on myself than I needed to. Okay, come on, please. Don't game over on, like, the last stretch of the game. I miss my 99 lives. I miss them so much. Okay, we're past that point. We have another hammer, bro. Oh god. And we have to use this platform. Okay, can the camera please scroll? Yeah, this is so much. Oh god. There's just so many things trying to kill me at once. Hi, Yoshi. Honestly, good thing there's no enemies or anything coming out of blocks in this game. Imagine if that block was like a poison mushroom or something, Lost Levels style. That would have been so mean. Honestly, the poison mushroom is simultaneously one of the most genius and one of the most evil ideas in the entire series. Also, at this point, I do not believe I'm going to see the bonus game again. Which is fine. Funky! Okay, this level is broken in Mario Kart Wii. We know that. Funnily enough, I do believe this level is the closest this game has to like a speedrun level, because I believe the timer in this level is rather strict. The way you can extend the timer is by first hatching this Yoshi, then using this P-switch here, and that is how you get the Yoshi. And now, whenever you eat one of these berries, you get plus 10 seconds on your timer, which is cool. Kind of a predecessor to the Mario 3D Land levels, where you get only like 30 seconds and then you have to do specific tasks to earn more. Mario 3D Land is such an underrated game, to be honest. It's just sort of stuck in this weird position where it's not a traditional 3D Mario game. It's on a handheld, so many people just ignore it because of that. And then it's also just overshadowed by 3D World, because that's like the bigger game with the same formula. You are a super player! Double exclamation points. I vaguely remember that like the Japanese version of this level does not include the letter A there, and as such, it technically contains less coins than the international version, which is kind of bizarre to think about. Anyway, before we end the game, little secret time. If you wait on the special word screen for a while, something special is going to happen. Yeah, that is a really cute reference. Like, just including the Mario overworld theme there is just kind of cute. Also, yeah, completing the special world unlocks this alternate color palette for the entire world map, which is kind of cool. And I also said I would show off this you can replay castle levels by pressing L and R on the world map. Cool. And with that out of the way... Yeah, the Star World gets this really cool, almost golden palette. The caves get this brownish color. And yeah, Chocolate Island gets this greenish color. It's kind of weird. Have you ever seen green chocolate? I don't think I would eat that. Anyway, front door. The final castle. And we're presented with 1, 2, 3, 4 different choices of paths we could take. And I do not know what is behind each one. I do only know that we only need to do one. But I am not sure which one is the correct one, or... No, I mean all of them are the correct ones, but I'm not sure which one of them is like considered like easy or anything. I believe I've seen this one before. This one has these weird carpets in the foreground. Kind of a cool idea, honestly. Kind of a maze-like thing, almost. And that's it. Okay. Yeah, that was cool. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, which one do we take this time? Let's just take door number 6. I immediately regret my decision. Underwater. Really? Although I believe this is the only time the underwater castle is used outside of that one fortress level. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Honestly, I think the idea of a pick your own path castle is really cool. I'm not sure if I would have made it the final castle, but at the same time it is a really cool concept, and it does make this castle really memorable. Because there's so many different paths you can take. Also, if I had taken the back door there, I would have ended up here. So yeah, it's basically just a skip half the final castle button. Which is why I didn't do it. Although I believe there's like also like at least 2 rooms you can take to essentially skip the first half anyway. Like I believe one of them is literally just press right to win. So you know. Really not all that exciting anyway. Anyway. Hi Bowser. You look really weird in this game. Kind of bizarre that they went back to the green color palette for this game. I believe this is the final time that Bowser was ever depicted with the green color palette. In like a proper Mario game. Because Mario 3 already had the yellowish palette, didn't it? I also once read that this boss fight here is surprisingly technically really complicated, which is also why we don't have the regular heads-up display here. And why the background is so boring. I vaguely remember it's mostly because of the moments where Bowser flies in the foreground and background. And these parts where he where his sprite rotates a bit. Because yeah, this is another thing. A lot of people don't even think about this, but rotating graphics is something that old consoles just struggled with. At least if it's not like by like a multiple of 90 degrees. Like mirroring sprites, rotating them by like 90 or 180 degrees, no problem. But rotating them by like 89 degrees, absolutely terrifying. Anyway, we're done. Mario's adventure is over. Mario, the princess, Yoshi, and his friends are going to take a vacation. Cute fireworks. Also, I really love this credits theme. Maybe this is a good time to share some thoughts on the game real quick. I think this is probably the best 2D Mario game outside of one specific one that I have some really unpopular takes on. It does have some really annoying levels, like that platform level in the special world. It has some rather forgettable levels, like that one Chocolate Island level. And if you try to approach it from like a quote-unquote objective perspective, the level design is absolutely worse than in something like Mario Bros. 3, but like at the same time, the level design in this game feels a lot less formulaic, which is cool. I also really like the idea of every music track essentially being the same, just in a different arrangement. That is really cool. I really like the graphics in this game. Some of them definitely look kind of goofy, like come on, what the hell is that Peach sprite? What the hell happened to Bowser? You can definitely tell this wasn't like an early SNES game in like how the graphics are designed, but at the same time some of these look really cool. And I really like the color palette in this game. Also, yeah, I guess this is how we see some of the alternate designs that also unlock by completing the special world. The bullet bills change into whatever that is, for example. Sadly, not the Banzai bills, although I guess you could also say that is for the best. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, and that is the game. We are done here. Also, honestly, speaking of weird art assets, yeah, these designs are not it. But either way, this is it. The game is done. I suppose it's a good idea to to reset real quick just to check that we have all 96 exits. Yeah, we now even have the little star icon next to our save file. That is cute. But yeah, I suppose that goes to show we are done with the game. Thank you very much for coming along for this ride. This was a really fun thing to do. I did not think I would get through it this easily, honestly. I expected to struggle a bit more on certain levels, Tubular in particular, but I suppose that is a good thing. Yeah, that is basically all I have to say about this game. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. It was a really fun time. Don't think I'm going to do this too often, but like genuinely, I did have fun.